Uh,
Yeah, we're live, everybody, with the pre-show. This is the
With
part
the
of the show where we talk
pre-show.
about what we're gonna do on the show,
Do it on the
and
show.
it's a fun time in store tonight. I really think so. I got a lot of good news, not like good news, but good news.
He's got
stories.
news.
I'm sharing out the show right now. That's why I'm.
He's got
indisposed.
news. That's
Did
what
you-
he's got.
Before I get into the summary of what's to come for the news, did either of you two bring any news?
no.
No.
Gosh, what the hell?
No.
You guys are really hard at it, real dedicated.
Well, I did read a story about the bad idea lines and.
Oh,
all
dude,
that.
no, let's not talk about bad idea.
Let's talk about
Yeah.
bad idea.
Please talk. Actually, I do want to hear a little bit about Bad Idea.
Well, no one can find their
I
books.
saw. Well, exactly. I saw some headlines, but I didn't really look into it, and it looked kind of interesting. Maybe we could just talk about it now.
We're gonna talk about the cable finale that was announced. Yes, new Supergirl series announced. The Infinity Stones are coming back to Marvel Comics.
I mean,
It's
is
gonna
that
be
really
fun.
news?
Yeah,
Did they ever
It
go
is,
away?
damn it. Obviously, if they're saying they're coming back, as usual,
Like saying Wolverine's coming back, even though
yeah, no shit.
There's like 20 Wolverines.
As usual, I do have some Heroes Reborn.
Oh, it's
news.
so loud.
It's not that loud. It's gonna be good. I have a lot, and then WandaVision. Of course, we're gonna talk WandaVision.
WandaVision.
I do have a bit of food news.
Food news.
Moment of Destruction. Beast Wars #2 came out. We're gonna talk
Yep.
about Beast Wars.
It's a
Oh, there's a
moment of
comic.
destruction.
Oh, damn, Connor's back. I am. Where was I? Where was I gone?
He was upset because Jules and Adams did a show.
I
that
was
not
here.
in-
I was producing the show.
But he was like, "What is this?" And I'm like,
That was a-
William.
That was a
Oh,
fun
William,
show.
you watch William, and he's like, you realize he's like the Numa kid grown up and has onslaught.
It's not nice.
Uh,
Oh, I have
Well,
dirt on
William's
the
not
bad idea
nice.
stories. Let's not, William. Let's not rumor monger. Let's not.
Oh, yes, he
Yeah,
does.
let's not do
probably.
that. But yeah, Beast Wars #2
But
came
yeah,
out.
I watched the episode of Williams thing, and he was like fussing about like how it's just like Milestone's static is like all woke and everything, and that like he was just upset about it.
Oh, well, there's no reason to be upset about it. Just don't,
Well, he was like-
just
he's
don't
like-
read it.
He's like, he got his powers from a BLM protest when they used some kind of experimental gas on him. And I'm like,
Well, that's just
Numa,
updating
yay.
it. That's just
Numa,
updating
Numa,
it.
Numa,
It's-
yay.
It's comics. Come on, man. It's comics. But yeah, a lot of cool comics did come out this week as well. We're going to talk about as many cool ones as we can get. Lying around. I don't know where Taylor is tonight. He's
I don't know where he
usually
is
here.
either. I haven't heard from him, so
Yeah,
maybe he'll
so-
show up, maybe not.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Geekterion Collection RoboCop was just a few weeks ago, and it was
Mhm,
wonderful. It was
like
a
literally
runaway,
a month ago, wasn't it?
a runaway success. That wasn't that long. It's a few.
It was.
It was a couple
It was
weeks
few
ago.
weeks,
It was before Valentine's Day.
No, it wasn't.
I think it was. It was during the week that we had the storm because I attended it.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
getting close to the next episode anyway. We need to put Jules on the spot tomorrow.
Yeah,
for
Jules will be put
actually
on-
pick.
on the spot tomorrow to make his pick. It's going to be something, I would guess, Japanese and animated. I'm hoping for Akira because that's one of my favorites of all
No.
time.
No,
What?
you have to get the Valley of the Wind.
No, come on, man. None of this fucking weird shit that I'm not going to be able to find without subtitles. Come on.
Oh, come on,
Don't
Gomer.
put
When
me
was the
through
last
that
time you read
shit.
a movie?
I don't want to
I
read
read
a
movies all the time.
movie. I don't want to read a movie. Anyway, and we have decided on the next top 5, which will happen in the month of March. The bullies are on board. We're going to work out a date as soon as everybody is on. Taylor's not here, so we can't really work out a date. But it'll be a Tuesday coming up soonish. It's the top 5 TV shows.
Yeah, it'll
And
be
I have
fun.
mine. I already have mine. Basically.
Now, is
Already
it
done.
top 5 geek-related TV shows or top 5
No, it's
Just
TV shows?
top 5 your favorite TV shows.
Well, we're all
Oh.
nerds, so I have a
So they'll probably all be nerd related anyway,
Like
in
The
some way,
Office.
shape, or form.
The Office. Come on, that's amazing.
I'm sure that's going to be on a lot
I
of
love it.
people's
It's
lists.
on
Yeah.
mine. I'll just spoil it right now. It's definitely on mine. I love it. Oh man, we both got Transformers shirts on.
Oh yeah, man.
It's cool. Unicron.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that all that is coming up. very, very soon, and I'm very excited about it, and it's going to be fun. So yeah, that's it. I don't know again where Taylor is, but we're just going to have to start the show.
Well, it's Taylor.
Don't. I'm excited for the TV show. It's fun, man.
Don't what?
Here it goes.
It certainly does suck.
Fuck.
Oh man,
That's definitely accurate.
it is. Oh, there's
yeah.
Taylor. Taylor's crying anyway.
another.
He's just too good for the pre-show.
He is. He's like,
He's
I don't
only
need
here for
all
the main
this
event.
bull crap.
We've been helping it, Taylor.
He's like, I don't need all this bull crap. I'll wait for the cue. Greetings, geeks.
Greetings, geeks.
Welcome back to another episode of This Geek in Comics. Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
I am your co-host, Gomer. With me, as always, Adam Normal, aka David, and Taylor, who is just way too good for the pre-show. Made it just under the wire.
I was actually on the phone talking to my brother about WandaVision, so.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about WandaVision.
We're going to talk about that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bit of a warm-up for today's show, let's call it.
Nice. This is segment one where we just talk about what we did this week. I watched Coming to America on Amazon. It was just
I
okay.
watched the first one. I've been meaning to watch the second one because it came out this week. Was it any good?
It was just okay.
In a long time.
At one point, they actually make fun of the fact that everything is getting a sequel, and it kind of ruins the original, which I thought was a little too on the nose.
Right.
But better than that, I realized that I had never seen Kong Skull Island before.
It's a fun movie,
monster.
It is fun. I am a monster. I didn't realize.
It is a really fun monster movie.
Godzilla and Kong is dropping in a few weeks, right? So
yeah, and that leads right into talking about that. Man, March is lit with dope stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Totally
great.
Is.
I'm stoked for that. Very hype. But yeah, man, that's a good movie. The Skull Island is really cool. That's all I got. That's all I did this week.
It fits nicely into that. It fits nicely into the legendary universe.
Yeah.
Little niche there.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What you guys do? Anything interesting? Anything
Man, since I got that
stupid?
ROM last week, it got me into my back issue. So I've been reading my old Transformers run from the old 80s run.
Oh,
so I've been rereading all of those. But then earlier today I rewatched I'm gonna say it, the second best Halloween movie, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
That's
which
all right.
I love that movie. That movie's about blowing up little kids' heads with space lasers.
Is that's the one with
So
the crazy mask that kills people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, the
So
one that has
dumb.
nothing to do with Michael
Nothing
Myers.
to do with Mike
Yeah,
Myers.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't even mention him, I don't think.
No.
The
Yeah,
whole
it's like,
damn movie.
it's like
No,
evil
no.
androids
He-
in the
he-
80s.
His movie
I
is
mean-
playing on TV in the
Yeah.
background.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. that
I think it was
movie's
the
so
case where
whack.
they originally intended the Halloween to be like an anthology type of series where they do like a different
but-
thing
But
every movie. But then it just became
nobody
Michael
liked
Myers.
this one because it didn't have Michael Myers in it. But
Yeah.
I think this one's
Yeah.
a pretty damn good movie.
Yeah, that whole Cloverfield anthology thing is probably what they
Yeah,
intended.
but those Cloverfield movies are real hit or
Weird.
miss, and they're
No,
mostly
they're all just uniquely different. And I mean, I kind of like all the Cloverfield movies, but they don't really feel like they have much to do with each other. It's weird.
I didn't like
The
Paradox.
first and third one were tangentially connected.
Yeah.
I like
what
10
else?
Cloverfield Lane mostly because I like John Goodman.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
he's
he was
good.
great in that. Yeah, he was.
Who doesn't like America's sweetheart John Goodman?
He was in a Skull Island.
Especially when he's murdering people.
He was
Yeah, he was in Skull
He's
Island.
still America's sweetheart.
Yeah.
He was pretty kick-ass in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh yeah, he was good in that.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was the
Cyclops.
Cyclops. Yeah.
Yeah. What else do you guys do? Anything? Nothing.
I've been rewatching WandaVision from the beginning, seeing if I pick up on things I didn't, the first watch through.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm going for the binge watch experience this time, since we've been having the drip feed before.
Yeah. I'm just ready for Falcon and Winter Soldier now. I'm over WandaVision already. I'm
Oh,
done.
I'm
2
not
weeks.
over. Man, WandaVision was fantastic.
Oh, it
I
was
guess we'll
great.
get into
WandaVision
it,
was
but-
fantastic, and Gomer,
No.
stop being a piece of shit about this. Just
No,
let
I'm not.
people
It was
enjoy things.
great. I'm gonna go on to the next thing. You know what I mean? I'm ready for.
You can do both. You can be excited
Sure,
about WandaVision after
sure.
2 fucking days, and yes, you
You're
can
right.
also be excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier. And yeah, less than 2 weeks now.
Yes. All right, let's get into the news. Then we'll get to WandaVision at the end of the news. That's gonna wait.
And now the news.
Here's Dave with the weather.
It's cold outside somehow.
Cable finale has been announced. Writer Gary Duggan and Phil Noto action-packed run on cable will reach its explosive climax this June, while the rest of the X-Men gear up for the highly anticipated Hellfire Gala, which I am so stoked for. That's
going to be fun.
gonna be so great. Young Nathan Summers will have to contend with his grizzled war veteran future self in Cable number 12. The past and future of Nathan Summers will finally collide in a game-changing confrontation that will set this iconic character on a new path. So if you look at the picture that's on there now, the left half there is the cover to Cable number 11, and the right is Cable number 12.
Oh, okay.
Kind of connecting
That's
covers
cool.
there.
Yeah, young Cable.
So yeah,
old
that's
Cable.
it. I really like the idea that X-Men isn't milking everything. You know what I mean? This book's got numbers. You know, they could probably milk this for another dozen issues if they wanted to.
They probably could, but honestly, out of all of the X books, this one is probably one of the more tangential ones. Especially now that, it's got fantastic art. It's been a fun run.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Phil Noto never do a bad issue.
No,
yeah, I mean,
Cable's on Sword, so you don't really need a main Cable book.
That's one of my points. Yeah,
he shows up more than most people in the main X-Men book too, since he's
true.
Because
It's been the summer.
Because he's a Summers,
yeah. I really enjoyed the parts about the Space Knights. We talked about Rom earlier. The Space Knights in this, and I want to see more than that. I want to see that sort of that thread tied off. I don't think they're going to do it by June. It's only
probably not.
Yeah, it's only a few months, you know. Anyway, that's going to be fun, and that's opening the path for so many new X books. We're getting Children of the Atom, we're getting Way of X, we're getting X Corp. So,
yeah, it's not like you're going to get less X books.
Yeah, we're actually getting more. It's like one step back, 3 steps forward. You know, when it comes to my stupid.
We come together because opposites attract.
Oh my god, we're getting a new Supergirl book called The Woman of Tomorrow, 8-issue miniseries. By Bill Quist, Evely, Matt Lopez, and modern day writing legend Tom King.
I don't know, man. He's
the
last few books he's been doing have not been legendary.
Why the hell she got a sword? Why she got a sword, man?
It's cutlass.
That's all we know. We know nothing about this book.
During the last run, she had like a staff thingy she had to get for Superman at one point. So.
I will say that Tom King's body work is definitely more hits than misses. But you are right that the trend lately has been not necessarily bad per se, but of a decidedly lower quality.
In his favor, this is a miniseries. Tom King tends to do better in miniseries, and he also tends to do better with characters that are not your A-list characters. So maybe he might be able to actually do something interesting with this. I don't know. I need to know what his actual plot is for this.
Yeah, let me see if it says anything. Supergirl's return. It takes Supergirl and sidekick Crypto into space on a journey that will have Supergirl fans cheering for more. They're being very vague with everything.
So has Supergirl and is in space. Yeah, that's not a lot.
With the dog.
She's gonna have some sort of psychological issues because every single Tom King
always
book.
She gets to be a space pirate stealing ice.
Yeah, Supergirl has that too, man. Where she does lean a little bit into her.
Well, there's an interesting angle there where, like, she's a survivor from Krypton who actually remembers Krypton. Yeah. So that's probably more traumatic for her than it would be for Clark, you know?
Oh, definitely. This is out June 15th, and I'm on board for an issue. The hell with it.
Yeah. Tom King is always worth at least one issue.
Yeah. I gave that Batman Catwoman thing 2 issues to get.
That did not pan out.
I extend that much faith in him, but yeah, I didn't get the 3rd.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
I was with you exactly.
The Infinity Stones are coming back. Marvel's biggest heroes clash over the greatest power in the universe in a series of annuals. Now, they've done this before, where each annual is like a chapter of the story, and I hate that. Black Cat,
I hate that too.
Captain America.
That tells me instantly that this is a very skippable event.
Yeah. Here's the whole checklist. June is 3 issues. July is 2 issues, and August is another 3 issues spanning just different annuals. Iron Man, Cap, Black Cat, Amazing Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Guardians. And
this could be viewed as like a way to try to get people to buy annuals, because most people, I feel like, probably skip them more often than not.
Oh yes,
annuals used to be annuals used to be a good opportunity to do like the things that they're doing with the Immortal Hulk with all those one shots.
Yeah.
You give a like some other writer and some other artist an opportunity to have the book for a minute. Just one issue, just real quick. And that was a good way to wrap people in because, man, you really get your money's worth with an annual and you get maybe 1 or 2 story. I don't know.
Wasn't it like a really
weird, dude?
There's definitely been some good
really good like X-Men movie.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Dave.
Wasn't there like a really good X-Men story that was in an annual?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, there have been good
I'm sure, yeah.
I was about to mention that my favorite Doctor Strange story, well, one of my favorites that I've ever read was a Doctor Strange annual. It was that one where he's like trying to cure that sick girl in another dimension, and like he basically like absorbs the demon inside of her, and everyone's like, "Oh, Doctor Strange, what have you done?"
Was that in Aaron's run?
It was not. It was before that. It was, I think Marco Rudy or something was the guy who wrote it.
Oh, was it? That
I forget
Mark
the writer,
Wade's
but
run. Maybe Mark Wade's run.
It was well, Mark Wade was after Jason Aaron.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I haven't read much Doctor Strange.
It might have been during Aaron's run. Yeah, I know it was happening concurrent. It was happening concurrently with New Avengers.
Yeah.
But
dude, Jason Aaron's run is so great on Doctor Strange.
It's pretty
good.
It
wasn't long enough.
Oh yeah, it should have been longer. He changed.
Should have been longer.
He did.
And that first arc was kind of God Butcher over again, but with like science people killing magic. But it was still pretty good.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Heroes Reborn. The thing's so dope. It gets its own trailer. I'm so stoked for this. Speaking of Jason Aaron, nice segue. We're professionals. I'm the Dr. Juggernaut, bitch!
I have a PhD in pain!
That's so dumb. Anyway, I can't wait for this. Heroes Reborn 5, 6, and 7. I think 7, yeah. Have been shown off. Here's the main covers for them, obviously, because those are the things that are happening.
Hey, DC, we do the Justice League better.
Heroes Reborn 5, there's a riot at Ravencroft. Heroes Reborn number 6, the spotlight is on the fabled daughter of Utopia Isle known as Power Princess.
That one.
The matchup you've been waiting for in Heroes Reborn number 7. Together they ended the Kree Skrull War, defeated Doctor Doom in his secret war, and even endured their own civil war between Hyperion and Nighthawk. But now the Squadron Supreme of America faces their greatest challenge yet, a mysterious new group of troublemakers called the Avengers. So that's interesting. That's a fun build-up. And they got a shit ton of one-shots, obviously. Here's the first one. American Knights. Paul Grist and Christopher Allen. This is just Luke Cage being like a cop.
Okay.
There you go.
With Daredevil and Moon Knight just hanging around.
Nightwind.
Nightwind.
Better Batgirl.
I don't know. We'll have to look. Because, this is Nightwind. Nightbird is the name of the character. Vita Ayala.
I don't know whether I like that or I hate that.
I know, it's hard to tell, dude. It's almost both. It's really weird.
Hey, DC, I'm in your house rearranging your furniture.
I mean, it's almost like clever with how like not clever it is,
Yeah. The artist is Fareed Karami. By day, Dr. Gwendolyn Stacy is Ravencroft Asylum's lead psychiatrist, but by night she dons the guise of the vigilante known as Nightbird. But how did this happen? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Okay. Next, Tim Seeley and Dan Jurgens do a Tale of the Squadrons Past in the Marvel Double Action. So this is just kind of like a throwback. Nighthawk and his trusted partner, the Falcon, patrolled the streets of Washington, D.C. from the vile criminals. So it's just like stories. It's like a throwback.
That's a great cover.
They add in, the new status quo that they're doing here. All right, another one. Elektra leads a team of the world's deadliest heroes and villains in Squadron Savage. Ethan Sachs is writing this. Luca Pizzari is drawing this.
I mean, they already have a Suicide Squad ripoff team with the Thunderbolts, so I don't know why they need to make another one.
I guess
I'm down for it.
There are some threats that require a more savage approach than the Squadron Supreme of America can offer. For those missions, the Department of Defense has put together a team consisting of Elektra, the Punisher, Crossbones, Cloak, and the enigmatic new character, Murder Hornet. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Murder Hornet already? It hasn't even been a year.
It has been about a year. Well, a little less, yeah.
Oh my god!
I felt bad because I didn't recognize. Who is that? I feel bad for not recognizing them, but no, it's
you didn't recognize.
I would have not gotten Crossbones.
I didn't get Crossbones until I saw like a close up on his mask here.
Yeah, I didn't get Crossbones either until you said his name.
I love Cloak so much. I wish he was more than just a damn taxi cab. Anyway, this book looks cool, man. I mean, what can be more deadly or more whatever brutal than what the Squadron Supreme is all about? I'm just interested to see how Aaron gets us there.
Just off the top of my head, the Savage Avengers, the Thunderbolts, who I think all these characters have been on that team at one point or another. So,
all right, I think we. Oh no, hold on, we got one more. I just have to find it. Here it is.
Was there one about like Thor, like the Forgotten God or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to those too. That's the third part, 3-part Heroes Reborn news this week. So. The last one shot, Squadron Supreme. All right, hold on. Let me reset. Squadron Supreme protects and defends the interests of America, but where does that leave a country like Canada? Who will stand up and protect them from the supremacy of the Squadron? Meet Weapon X and Final Flight.
So I have a problem with this team name here.
Yeah.
So the normal team is Alpha Flight. Why is this not Omega Flight?
Okay, isn't that another thing? Isn't that another thing?
Point.
I don't know, but
I think Omega Flight's its own thing.
Okay,
maybe.
I know there's a Gamma Flight that deals with the Hulk right now. But...
Yeah, there is a Gamma Flight. Meet Weapon X and Final Flight by Ed Bryson and Roland Bashi. They're the best.
Oh, is Green going by Weapon X here?
Yeah.
I guess if he never joined the X-Men, he wouldn't have been Wolverine. Oh wait, yeah, he was. He was Wolverine before he joined the X-Men.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
So yeah, that's cool. That's rad. Also, this is the last bit of news. The Squadron Supreme take over the entire Marvel universe as well. Key moments from Heroes Reborn universe play out on variant covers. So we're going to look at these real quick. I don't know who the artists are. Oh, no. It's all Carlos Pacheco doing the art. So the Frozen Soldier. Like, this is a moment out of this new universe. That doesn't really tell us anything except the Cap's frozen ice. But this, the Ronin King. What? T'Challa's going to be Ronin?
I mean, that's cool. It's happened before.
Well, everybody been Ronin. I know, but I mean.
That's pretty rad, I got to say.
Dude, that is rad, man. I think that there's more of these. The Vampire Wanderer. We know Blade's going to be a big part of this already. The Lost Prisoner, Echo, stuck in an insane asylum. And then this is pretty weird. The Intergalactic Bounty Hunter. It's obviously Rocket, and he's got a Groot gun. And then Thor 14. The Forgotten Asgardian. Yeah, that looks cool, man. So again, this is Heroes Reborn has nothing to do with the very first, Heroes Reborn event where Franklin was just screwing everybody over after Onslaught or whatever the hell it was. This is Jason Aaron saying... I mean,
Franklin literally saved all their lives.
I know.
I know. He put them in a pocket dimension and let them figure it out.
Yeah, he was playing with his toys.
But yeah, the actual event here is almost beside the point. All this alternate reality where they ended up stuff, that seems really cool.
Yeah, this crazy cool what if stuff is dope, man. I love it when they do it on a higher level, like Age of Apocalypse,
Yeah,
that sort of thing. Yeah, so I'm stoked. I'm stoked for that. All right. WandaVision. Here we go. Should Elizabeth Olsen get an Emmy for her role in WandaVision?
Yes.
Man, she acted her pants off in this entire series. She did amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, she was very
I think she should.
Yeah.
I mean, legitimately. I mean, she was like going from genre to genre. She handled comedy. She handled anguish. She handled action. She was like badass, but also vulnerable. And she really ran the gambit. And she really did great work throughout this whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to give her the Emmy nod because of the snobbery factor for giving superhero stuff that, but
plus it's on a streaming site, and
Netflix is squashing that though, man. That
I know, but like that's two things that the people in their ivory towers are going to want to like try to like hold against this.
You're not wrong.
I think she definitely deserves one though, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I love this finale. So yeah, Doctor Strange never showed up. We got a different cameo at the end.
This is what Doctor Strange was doing the whole time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Taking a fucking nap.
So if you were expecting some other characters to pop in for a spell, that never really happened.
I'm calling that nerd blue balls. Okay, I'm gonna make that term.
But
nerd blue balls.
That being said, if your main problem with this was that Doctor Strange didn't show up at the end, you're spoiled as
or
fuck.
Anybody,
exactly.
Mephisto, mutants, everybody. This show compelled people to speculate and make guesses.
Yeah,
and then nothing happened. There was literally nothing. Once Agatha All Along happened, we pretty much knew everything. She out of the bag.
That was the reveal.
Pretty much
people were still expecting shit.
The whole rest was dealing with the reveal.
If you got butthurt because like Mephisto wasn't there or whatever, then I think that is a shitty criticism. And if you put that aside, I can't think of any real complaints I have about the show from beginning to end. I think
it was pretty solid.
That image right there gave me the same vibe that I got when you saw the Avengers get together in the movie theater the first time.
Oh, well, I got this vibe.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, she's like,
mommy will deal with the bad guy. You deal with the Marines.
Yeah.
You were born for this.
Yeah.
And then, like, everybody's going apeshit over that Ship of Theseus debate between the two visions.
I fucking love that. That was legitimately my favorite part of the episode, probably.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of things to choose from. Like, there were so many highlights of this. I loved Wanda getting, like, her actualization, like, as the Scarlet Witch at the end. Complete with a pretty badass costume. That worked pretty good.
That is a pretty bitching costume.
Oh, man. I mean, I'm in love. It's gorgeous. It's everything you want from the Scarlet Witch costume adapted from the comic onto the screen. It's just perfect, dude. It's perfect. I loved it. But I mean, we're spoiling the hell out of it, you know. People are like, "Oh, no reveals." Man, go to hell, no reveals. What are you talking about? This feeds right into everything they're doing with
Phase 4.
So if you really don't want anything else, tune out now. We're going to be doing spoilers big time from here on out. So
yeah, I mean,
it's a little late, but okay.
But
this role's not that big of a reveal.
And with the Secret Invasion show,
it's already the crux of another movie. So
that does springboard into probably whatever Nick Fury is doing, like a Space Avengers or whatever. That's going to springboard.
And Wanda, I mean, I don't have the full clip, but I mean, this is obviously Wundagore Mountain, right? It's got to be. And, you know, when we phase in here where the camera zooms in, she's making a cup of tea, but she's also sort of doing the same astral projection that Doctor Strange did while he was training. She's reading the Darkhold, and she hears her kids calling for her.
Yeah.
Presumably from somewhere in the multiverse, which, again, bleeds right into the upcoming Doctor Strange movie. Yeah. So I don't know what people were complaining about.
Yeah, our post-credit scenes were great springboards into where these characters are showing up next. The biggest dangling plot thread is what happened to Vision.
White Vision,
White Vision. He fucked right out of there, and we don't know what happened to him. So he will show up again, I'm sure.
Yeah. Now
he's got his memories back, so
for all intents and purposes, he's Vision again.
The thing about that is
he's the same person again.
Here's the thing about that, okay? I don't know if he is quite like that. I think it's the difference between experiencing a life and reading your journals after you have amnesia. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
There's something missing. But dude, that's such a compelling character now. His arc is so important, moving forward, in my opinion.
I agree.
They can hinge a big storyline on that new character. Yeah, and I'd love to see it, man. Yeah. I really like that.
So did you guys tear up when Hex Vision and the kids were wiping out of there?
Yeah, definitely. It was very emotional.
Very sad.
Sure. I mean,
that last moment between Wanda and Vision where he's like, "What am I?" and she's like, "You're that piece of the Mind Stone that's within me. You're everything that." That was so sad.
I love that whole dialogue they had at the end there. I love the whole I've been a voice without a body. I've been like a body that's not really human, and now I'm a memory. Who knows what I'll be next? So we say goodbye before. Maybe we'll say hello again.
Well, let me ruin it. Wanda just gets off scot-free, no consequences.
Oh yeah, she walks like in the middle of town, everybody giving her dagger eyes, and
Monica's just like, bye, Wanda.
I would have done the same thing. I would love you.
Well, she recognizes what she did was wrong. That's why she undid the hex in the first place.
I also like.
That's not how justice works in America. I'm just saying. Saying.
I don't think that's it. I think that she's put herself in exile now, and I think that she is going to have to deal with the consequences now. And also, who there is going to stop her from just leaving if she wants to?
Nobody.
Right. I mean, call it Thor or Doctor Strange or something, and maybe they can do something.
Not even, dude.
Probably not. No,
dude. Wanda's
the top of the tier list now.
She almost soloed Thanos twice before she had the Darkhold, before she had this awakening that Agnes, pushed on her. So yeah, dude, no one's gonna fuck with her, man. No one's gonna fuck with her.
One of the things, little things that was just threaded throughout the series that got revealed is that the Quicksilver in the WandaVision was Agnes's Ralph.
Yeah, a lot of people were upset by that.
Get the fuck over it. I'm
I agree with you.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying people in general. If your theory wasn't right,
but you have to admit, them pulling a Fox X-Men
it was a cameo. It was
actor,
a fun cameo. They knew what they were doing.
I don't know, man.
They knew what they were doing because it was definitely dangling a carrot. But
it's somewhere between a wink and a kick in the balls. You're right. It's somewhere between a wink and a kick in the balls.
It is somewhere between that. Depending on who you are, is where it lands on that scale.
Yeah.
I also like how Marvel has again successfully gotten away with just using evil versions. In Vision's case, literally evil versions of the main characters as the bad guys again.
Yeah.
It made for a good fight. I mean,
it did.
Dude, also
it ended in a satisfying way.
Hayworth is an
Vision
evil version of a hero.
And
Oh, sorry, Taylor. You were breaking up there for a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, kind of. Sorry, am I good now? All right. But what Vision winning with philosophy and Wanda winning by actually using the technical aspects of spell casting, which she's starting to piece together.
Yeah.
Both of those were satisfying ways for them to win their fights.
Yeah. They were. They grew.
Yeah. And Hayworth is like the anti-Tony Stark in a way. He did the same thing Tony Stark did. He created a mindless being, an automaton with technology that he didn't understand, but he got consequences. Tony Stark was like,
I don't see that one as much.
What do you mean? He made Ultron?
That's a pretty vague association to make, I think.
What do you mean?
And there is an important distinction between Tony, at least actively participating to clean up his mess,
Well, sure. Yeah, I don't know. Well, what?
And there were consequences. That's how they got the fucking Sokovia Accords.
But what mess, though? What mess was left over by revitalizing spectral image or spectral vision? He was trying to take down a threat. Wanda was still a threat to that point. I mean, all right, I get Hayworth is supposed to be the villain, but dude, he was kind of right.
He's a secondary villain,
but he was kind of right to be able to want to eliminate this threat to this town. Wanda was torturing this town. They even say as much. I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of gray area that people are ignoring because, again, like you said, they're focusing on these incorrect fan theories. And they're just overly excited about how damn good the show was just produced and delivered to the audience that, the show left a lot of freaking weird gray area that people just aren't talking about. And I get it; it's kind of secondary to just being entertained, but
I don't think it's as big a thing as you're making it out to be. But sure, yeah, it needs to be talked about. I think you're getting into navel gazing a little too much with that, but
I do think though that if this is the quality of TV show that we're gonna get from Marvel from now on, man, I am so excited for what's coming.
They needed to start off on a strong foot, kind of like back at the beginning of all this when they started off on a strong foot with Iron Man, and they absolutely nailed that with this.
Well, I compare it more to Mandalorian a little bit. You know, Mandalorian had an uphill climb if you consider the fan reaction, at least in part, to Star Wars recently. And dude, it well exceeded expectations. Now with this, sure, I think expectations weren't as high as the rest of the MCU. It's like, no, they're not going to be able to deliver something as good as the MCU on Disney Plus. And then they did it.
It's kind of like Guardians. It's kind of like when Guardians came out. This is a weird kind of side property. Like Scarlet Witch and Vision would never be a movie. They would never make that a movie, which honestly, thank God, because this is a lot more interesting and frankly a lot better than I think of.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been able to split it up.
This definitely had to be a TV show.
Sitcoms,
but yeah, this was an important proof of concept in a sense that they can go way outside of their usual box on these things, and people will still eat it up if the quality is there.
Well, we know She-Hulk is going to be like a courtroom comedy of some
Bring it on!
sort.
I'm looking forward to all this shit.
Dude, I know, right? It's like I can't wait to see what they do next. You know?
Yeah, this show worked as part of the MCU. It worked as just an homage to different eras of television. It was funny. It was heartbreaking. It was action-packed. I really think they absolutely knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I do too. Even aside all of the things that I brought up, those are all, those are easily overlooked, especially next to just the quality of everything. This last episode was the first episode that actually felt like it was MCU. And it was dope MCU. I mean, there's visions flying around in the background while Scarlet Witch is fucking fighting this other. You know what I mean? It was full-on action. They were
great fights, just objectively.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. So we have no more WandaVision. WandaVision's done and over. It's a week until we get more MCU, though, right?
Well, we get like a making of WandaVision next week.
Oh, that's out already, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think
is it out already?
Oh, yeah, it's out already. They released the Falcon and Winter Soldier one of those too.
Binge watching all that you want to binge watch at this point,
Yeah. But then it's just another week after that when we get Falcon and Winter Soldier, right?
Yeah, we're less than 2 weeks away, and I am stoked for it.
Me too. Wait. So we're going to talk about that when it comes out for the 6 weeks that it's doing its thing. So let's go move on.
Yummy.
Delicious. Food news. All right, this is kind of gross. Ultimate peanut butter lovers cups. It's a Reese's cup, but instead of chocolate, it's this peanut buttery.
Why don't they reverse it? Do a peanut butter shell with chocolate on the inside?
Dude, you should write
I agree. Yeah, if you're gonna do something like this,
they're doing it wrong.
It's kind of losing the intrinsic Reese's-ness of it if it's not chocolate and peanut butter,
Yeah.
It's going to be limited time in early April. A 1.4 ounce for $1.09, king size for $1.79. Miniatures, they are going to do miniatures, which I prefer the Reese's miniatures. Sorry,
they're bite sized. They're delicious.
Yeah, I can just pound them like popcorn. They're just gone.
They're dangerous.
Oh, exactly. I love. Dangerous, my middle name. But yeah, there is a review out for these. They did send these out to some, food bloggers, and I read a review, and they said it's kind of like bad truck stop peanut butter fudge. And I can see that. Look at it again.
I mean, yeah, I can see where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Well,
I still want to try them.
I think technically,
I still want to try them.
The peanut butter in Reese's peanut butter cups is not technically true peanut butter.
Well, the chocolate. They're not when they sell Hershey shit in England and some places over there in Europe.
Yeah, they're not legally allowed to call it chocolate.
They're not allowed to call it chocolate because they have to have a special grade there of milk to cocoa, and they don't meet that grade.
But I know
they call it something else.
I know early on
I don't know why you eat that shitty Hershey's anyway. If you got those European flavors.
I know that I know peanut butter is naturally oily, and that chocolate doesn't react well with peanut butter oil. So it's a derived from peanut butter.
This guy's watching
purely peanut butter.
Sesame Street episode where they go to the chocolate factory.
No, I got that from How It's Made or something like that.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into comments. It's the moment of destruction.
Yeah, it is.
I don't have anything good to say about this.
I mean, so we're gonna talk about Transformers: Beast Wars #2.
Eric Burnham and Josh Burcham.
Josh Burcham. This was not as good as the first issue.
That's not as good.
And my main problem with this book is definitely the art. I
hate the art.
I do like the character designs. It's just that he has nothing going on in the backgrounds at all.
Yeah.
Like ever. It's just the main guys, and then the whole rest of the page is a lot of just static.
Who are these guys?
So these guys, I don't know why he decided these guys were good guys to center his first arc around, but these guys are basically kind of like the Watcher.
Yeah, are these not in the cartoon? These aren't in the.
No, they are in the cartoon. They are in the Beast Wars cartoon, but they're kind of like a random side thing. They're not super important to the main storyline, really. So I don't know.
They pulled me right out of the story that was
exactly.
happening.
They suck, but I do like some of the character interactions here. I liked Megatron fucking around with Scorponok. Yeah. It's very slapstick, which is a main thing of the show. It was a very slapstick comedy show. But yeah, it's just not as good as the first issue. I'm still gonna be on this because I like it. Yeah, I like Beast Wars. But
here's Pterodactyl Con and Rat
Terracon,
and Ratbot.
Nyx,
Batbot, whatever, doing. He got captured.
She got captured at the end of the issue.
Oh, yeah, she got captured. I'm sorry, man. I did not like this at all. I actually enjoyed the first issue quite a bit, but this just fell totally flat for me. Those three Jokers just took me right out of it, man.
Yep, that's what it is.
What the hell? I see more animals kicking each other's asses.
Yeah, there wasn't enough animal stuff in this one.
Yeah, man.
Everybody was still talking in their robot form for most of it, which was very disappointing.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we get more next time. No one else is reading this?
Sorry.
Pink. Taylor, I think Taylor's going first this week. Didn't you miss out last week or something?
He wasn't here last week.
I mean, he was here.
I was here.
Out. Were you in and out?
I think I was out. Like I think I came in at the last.
He did his three at the end.
He shotgunned his top three at the very last.
Oh, that's right. He shotgunned him at the end. Man, it was a huge week. Lots and lots of books. I'm very anxious to see where everybody falls this week. So yeah, go. Okay. Let's go ahead, Taylor, and we'll just go around.
So for my for my honorable mention first, I guess I'm going to do Demon Days X-Men by Peach Momoko doing the writing.
Oh, that is my honorable
that's my number one, man.
Oh wow.
Just by the art alone.
Yeah.
The art alone definitely was amazing. I loved seeing the stylized versions of all these different characters. I love seeing
the takes on
them and things. Yeah.
This is the most special thing I've seen this week. Everything else was kind of book by kind of comics by numbers for me in a lot of ways this week, but this was the only thing that was new and special that I saw that
100% agreed.
Really grasped me. I just love this artwork. The story was kind of
I had a problem with Peach.
Well, that's why it's only an honorable mention for me. Is that the story was kind of like a little what you call it, like Picarillo or whatever, where it's just like a little day in the life type of thing. And truth be told, this is probably more a fault for me than it's for. I didn't recognize who some of these characters were supposed to be. Like I recognized Psylocke, and the dog was named Logan, and there was a Hulk Oni. and the Venom's Orochi, obviously. I didn't know who like the girl with the bow and arrow was supposed to be, and I didn't know who like was that supposed to be Jubilee?
I thought that was Jubilee. I thought that was Danny, supposed to be Danny.
Maybe. See, that's the thing is I wasn't really sure. So that was like I spent a lot of time like as I'm reading through, it's like, oh, this is fun and everything, but who is this supposed to be?
Yeah.
So that was probably more on me than it is on the actual book itself. But yeah, I love the artwork. It's an honorable mention, a pretty strong honorable mention. Yeah. So yeah.
Good choice. Number 3. We'll talk about that book more. We'll get more in depth if we need to.
For my number 3, I'm going to do the latest issue of Avengers by Jason Aaron.
Oh my gosh.
Part 5, I think, of this Enter the Phoenix storyline.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't like this issue.
I love this part right here where Namor's telling Cap what for.
I like that now that we've got like a narrowed roster going, we are getting a lot better character interactions, I think.
This is one issue too far for this storyline for me.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in comics.
This is the main thing, honestly, that is giving this on my top 3, though. T'Challa being a fucking badass, like Wolverine's like thinks he's got him. It's fucking stupid, but it's fucking cool. What the fuck do you want?
It's stupid, silly,
that's
cool,
what this has been the whole time.
You're
it's
right.
Dumb as hell. And this is just another extension of this stupid, but incredibly fun story that we've been reading. This whole run by Jason Aaron has really been that.
Go ahead and snicked out that middle claw Wolverine. He's like, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
I got my vibranium grill. It was unexpected, to be sure.
I also like that Jen knows what's really up, and she's just here to kill Namor. So I really hope she succeeds at that.
Yeah. But, again, I really enjoyed this. I love when Namor putting a finger in Cap's face. I thought that was funny as hell. My money's on Cap in that fight. I'm sorry. I think he could win.
Oh, I do like that we're ending up with Cap versus T'Challa now for this next round.
Well, yeah, I think it was pretty much leading there. They were the two.
Well, they said we knew this was coming all along.
Yeah, they were the narrators of the last couple issues. Yeah.
As for the stuff with like Thor's mom being the Phoenix,
that's sort of an aside. That's like backburner shit on this.
Yeah, it is.
Weird.
I don't know how I feel about that. For one thing, I don't know that it's going to be permanent. I mean, who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I think she's just screwing with...
Didn't they do a thing a few years ago where they were trying to say that Magneto was not Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver's dad?
No, she's not. He's not.
Did they ever drop that?
Stands. No, that still stands.
Yeah.
She is...
See, that's
the Pretender.
They've actually gone all in that. In the X-Men books, they call her the Pretender. They don't even say her name. It's like Voldemort on Krakoa. They sit around campfires and tell horror stories about her.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that, dude. I love that. It was even better in the Empire issue. There was Empire X-Men. She feels bad and goes to Genosha and tries to resurrect the mutants, and they're all zombies. And it was Plants versus Zombies, which is
that was a fun
wonderful. That was a wonderful issue. All right, moving on. Great choice. Avengers was weird, but this whole arc's been weird. So again, I just want to say, Vibranium Grill is fucking silly.
Fuck you.
That's just one issue too far for me.
I'm
just ready for this Phoenix stuff to wrap up so we can move on.
Yeah.
Well, next issue, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so too. And then we get into Heroes Reborn, baby. My honorable mention was also Demon Days, but man, I read so many cool things this week that I could have 10 maybe 4 or 5 literally honorable mentions. Just a lot of great things. My number 3 book was actually a book called Chariot Number 1.
Oh, that is into my honorable mentions.
Nice. This is by Brian Hill and Priscilla Patrades. The solicit basically tells the story of what's going on in this book.
Well, this is Knight Rider, right?
This is Knight Rider. If the roles were reversed, Michael was a con and Kit was a female.
Yeah. So it tells the story of a reformed criminal who stumbles upon a Cold War era supercar that absorbed the soul of its previous driver, who was a Cold War era super spy, right? It's really good art, man.
The art is phenomenal.
You can see the motion in the page. And it's sometimes, especially as a Transformers reader, sometimes it's hard for an artist to capture that motion, but doing it on Trad Moore did a great job of that in his Ghost Rider run. But I really want to see more of this because, again, the solicit basically told you everything that you need to know about this first issue without having to read it.
Michael, I can only use my super boost once per episode.
Yeah. It may be leaning a bit too hard into some tropes, like the Cold War era super spy trope, the father with the sick kid down on his luck, but that's what they're there for. That's what tropes are there for.
Tropes exist for a reason. Yeah.
Exactly. This book is really pushed by that premise, which is Knight Rider meets Christine by way of like James Bond. It's really interesting. It's fun, and I'm on board for the whole run. It's going to be dope. I'm excited. That's an AWA book, actually.
Yeah, it was one of those surprise books this week. I really liked
the pacing at the beginning, like the first 5 or 6 pages, there's no word balloons or anything.
It's just storytelling through artwork.
Yeah, it's very well done.
I'm like, what is? Because the car, it's like the car. It starts off like you're like Spy Hunter, like the game Spy Hunter.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is like a version of Knight Rider that seems pretty cool right now.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, honorable mentions in number 3, Adam.
All right, honorable mentions. Let's see, Batman number 106. I really love the art. I really dig the redesign for the Scarecrow, but that's really
a cool look for Scarecrow. It really is.
It is a very cool look for Scarecrow.
There's
but
a lot
really
going on in Batman right now, dude.
There's a lot going on, but they need to focus on something.
Ghost Rider is the worst Robin ever.
Oh yeah, Ghostmaker.
Or yeah, what did I call him? Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost whatever the hell he is.
I'm not really a big fan of Ghostmaker.
Oh, hey, something I had a question about. For the backup part where, like, Robin was, like, apparently on the outs with Batman right now, when the hell did that happen?
Oh, that happened a while ago. Damian's been alienating everyone, dude. He's been alienating Batman.
Well, Damian is a little shit, yeah. So.
And the Bat family, the Titans. He's really got nowhere to go. And Talia actually gets into that, like, confronts him like a good mom would.
It was a fun backup.
It was. And then it introduced this Lazarus, whatever.
Cult of Lazarus.
Lame. Come on.
Now, does Ra's al Ghul need to have his own Court of Owls, apparently?
That's exactly what I thought, dude. Why do we need another thing? Come on.
Oh, my God, Gomer. Get
Comic books is always another thing.
No, I know.
It's somebody for Damian to fight. That's all they exist for.
Well, and that's what's happening in the main Batman book. We have this Unsanity Council gang or whatever. Why do we need another thing?
There's always going to be another thing, man. You need to get over
I know, but come on. There's a lot of things. Batman's got a lot of things, right?
He does.
They're still playing off him being broke with the talk about the Batmobile.
Yeah, he's being broke. He's broke, but he still has more money than I will ever have.
Balling.
They pointed out that, like, after losing everything, he's still richer than anybody else in the neighborhood.
I don't like that. I don't like that. It's fine though.
Yeah,
and it's Batman. It's always an okay read, even when it's bad. It's like pizza.
Right.
It's like pizza.
That's why it's an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Okay. Another honorable mention be Thunderbolts number 3. It was a fun miniseries. I thought it was funny. That's really about all I can say about it. And then my last honorable mention is Infinite Frontier. Had a lot of cool stories in it, but really this is just a bunch of ads for their future DC books. So
where are they exploring Wonder Woman and the Quintessence hanging out? Or
that's got to be in that Immortal Wonder Woman book, or what's the name of the new Wonder Woman book?
The Sensational Wonder Woman.
Sensational Wonder Woman. That's got to be where it's at.
Is that the one that came out this week?
That came out this week, and pretty much
that's the digital first. The first 9 issues of that are already available digitally.
Oh well, I have no idea where they're going to explore that at.
No,
that's dope.
It is
awesome because that
cool.
Future State, Wonder Woman who had like her own Green Lantern ring and
I
actually
like a lot of the status quos that this introduces, but that's all this does is just introduce a bunch.
Did anyone else read that Infinite Frontier? Anyone?
I did. It's got a lot going on in it.
Dude, did you read Suicide Squad from this week as well?
No.
All right, you know how like there's that Arkham breakout sort of going on in the Joker gas during Infinite Frontier. The Joker gas thing.
Oh, yes.
That goes in Suicide Squad, the first issue of Suicide Squad that also came out this week. That goes beat for beat. Like that dude on the radio.
Mahoney.
Suicide Squad is in Arkham breaking Talon out so he can join the squad while all that's going on. And I thought that was pretty rad. I like my comic book shared universe to actually feel like it's a shared universe. You know what I mean? So when it does it that close knit, it's fun. It's interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
So my actual number 3 is going to be Swamp Thing number 1.
Ooh.
Ram V
So
and who was
Actually, I got
the
to step away
artist
for
on
a
this
sec.
one?
Sorry.
That actually was going to be
Mike
one of my
Perkins.
honorable mentions.
Who was the artist on that?
Mike Perkins.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So yeah, Swamp Thing's back, except it's a new Swamp Thing.
It's not Alec Holland.
It's not Alec Holland. It's a brand new character named Levi something.
Kami Levi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I really dug Mike Perkins' art. It was had a real nice horror flavor to it, which you definitely need.
I felt that it was kind of a return to form for Swamp Thing because he did start out as a horror comic.
100% agree, man. They got the
last run. I really liked the last main run that they did, but it was very mainline comic booky. And this feels more like a Vertigo book.
What was it? Animal Man, New 52 had this red and the green. It kind of pulled Swamp Thing. Yeah, it kind of pulled Swamp Thing into a continuity that he works in, but it's definitely not my favorite Swamp Thing. That mix up. But yeah, this is like going back to horror roots. Mm-hmm. This is cerebral. It's also got some great relationship sort of analogies going on. Dude, this has the potential, like Immortal Hulk potential, if they can keep this sort of thing going, I think. The new villain is really scary, too.
Pale Wanderer?
Oh, he dude. Super scary.
He's scary. And not just his look, like the stuff he was saying, like, no, I'm not here to defeat you. I'm here to, like, explore you and examine you. And it's like, it was weird, man. But yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
It was.
Very good book. Very good book.
Yeah.
It's nice to actually be able to pick a DC book again.
Mm-hmm. It's been a few months because everything was death metal and then everything was future state, and now it's like, okay, it feels like we're getting back into something
comics
regular.
Again.
I feel like DC's back to being DC again.
Yeah, something regular. All right, I think that leads us up to Big D.
All right, so
honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. You've already mentioned Swamp Thing number 1.
So you're only gonna have like 5 more honorable mentions.
Well, I had like 5 honorable mentions.
Oh my god!
3 of them have already been mentioned.
Oh my god!
Chariot has been mentioned, and the Batman 106 has been mentioned. So that leaves me with 2 books here. The first one is Dead Dog's Bite.
I didn't like this.
Oh, I thought it was great. I thought
too weird for me.
It's basically like a comic book version of Twin Peaks.
I didn't like that either.
There was a lot of like 9-panel artwork going on. Our main character, Josephine, or Jo as she likes to be called, her best friend has disappeared, and she's not happy with the pace of the investigation to find her. So she starts doing things on her own. It's got these really wacky characters, like the mayor is a cowboy, and they got like the old lady in town. The rich old lady in town is like wearing a spiral dress. It's got just this crazy vibe. It had this wonderful coloring, well-paced story that I am on board for at least the next issue.
Cool.
And then there was a book from Oni Studios called Joanna and the Impossible Monsters.
Yeah.
A lot of really good sequential art, but it just basically 2 sisters are in the woods and one sister comes across a monster, and then we jump to about a year later and the older sister is trying to track down her younger sister. But it's a lot of great artwork.
Chris Samney art.
Yeah, Chris Samney art.
Yeah,
a lot of great. The opening is really well told through sequential art, and the monster design was pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah. Cool. Number 3.
Yeah,
move on. It's like, man, I love comic books so much.
It was a good week for comics. I had a very difficult time. My number 3 is going to be ENAC number 1.
How the hell did you get an ENIAC number 1?
I planned it out.
Oh god!
Is this one of those bad idea books?
This is the only bad idea book.
It's the first and only bad idea.
Man, so why you gotta review a book that nobody else can read?
Gomer has read it.
No, I haven't.
You said you've seen previews for it.
I've seen like the 8-page preview.
Not the same as reading it.
Yeah, but I haven't gotten the review copy. I don't think they're doing review copies for.
Well, but the artwork is phenomenal and the story is pretty good. But it's by Matt Kent. You got Doug Brathwaite on art. Yeah. You have the story of these 2 I guess I would call them fixers. They go and fix problems that other people are.
Yeah.
And they get they get paid by the Secretary of Defense to basically take out ENAC. And the story of ENAC
It's a supercomputer. It's a wild. It's like Skynet.
Yeah, it's like Skynet from like 1940s.
Yeah.
It basically, in the story, ENAC was given enough data to become sentient and make decisions, and it's responsible for targeting Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Is that Skynet?
Yeah. But it was telling like during World War II, it said drop nukes on these cities, and then it proceeds to say, okay, drop nukes on the Russians, drop nukes on the Chinese, and drop nukes on a third location. And basically, the U.S. Army is fighting itself to stop these nukes from being delivered.
Yeah.
And then it jumps forward to today, where they thought they had destroyed ENAC, but now they have a whole team dedicated to it. And somebody has broken the source code and discovered a countdown, and they don't know what the countdown is for. Either ENAC has gotten all the launch codes for every nuclear weapon in the world, or it has access to a number of them. But these two military fixers are supposed to go in and try to stop ENAC, and ENAC is on to them. ENAC. ENAC.
Oh, is that what you're saying?
I don't care. Just move on.
Yeah, man, bad idea is a bad idea.
It is totally a bad idea. I mean, it's a little bit of a, if a tree falls down in the woods and nobody's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Like,
they're barring.
I'm never gonna read any of their books ever. So, what is
they've manufactured scarcity, right, in a business that thrives in large part on scarcity. You know, the real world physical paper industry for comics relies on scarcity for shops.
They're creating their own bubble, though, and
But they're not allowing shops to sell for over cover price for the first 30 days.
I mean, it is kind of a shame, though, that like even if they produce like one of the greatest things ever written, you know, it's going to have such a small number of people who are able to enjoy it. That's kind of lame.
It is, man. I don't know. I really want to read it, but like Berserker, right? That was a new book that came out this week.
Look, I want to read it, but I'm not going to go out of my way, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to pay somebody over cover price to get it.
Boom Studios put out a book called Berserker #1, that Keanu Reeves Matt Kemp book or whatever. But they do a one variant per store promotion where every store who orders, doesn't matter even how many you order. I think it's 10 is the minimum. All right. But everybody gets one of these special variants. Dude, at least the shop we go to, they sold that book for $30. That paid for every copy of Boom Studios Berserker #1 and 2. So, come on, man. There's a way to work with shops and customers, and there's a way not to. And bad idea is not helping out the stores very much by selling these books that they have manufactured scarcity and then don't let the shops take advantage of the scarcity. Anyway, moving on. I wish I knew that was a good choice, David. I wish I was able to read ENIAC, but I was not. Taylor, #2. Oh, he's gone.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
He's like, is it my turn? Is it my turn?
No, you were like chopping out there for a second.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Go ahead.
Anyway, for #2, I'm doing America Chavez, Made in America #1. This is a character that I see a lot in a lot of team books. Like she was in Young Avengers that Kieran Gillen was writing. She was in the West Coast Avengers book that I was writing. And I saw in the preview. Yeah, and I saw in the previews that
she was in Ultimates. Yeah,
that was dope.
She was in Ultimates. Ultimates was also really good. But I saw in the previews that this was going to have a lot of the characters from West Coast Avengers. And hey, I like this book, and I thought it was like cut short before its time. I'll pick this up, and I'm glad I did. It's an interesting look at a character that doesn't get a lot of limelight. The art is really fantastic. Like a lot of the characters look really good. It does kind of have a lot of that same energy that West Coast Avengers had because they're fighting a bunch of giant moles for some reason, and they never really go out of the way to explain why. Apparently, it was like in a AIM lab or something nearby. But
I didn't read this. Sorry.
It is mostly making it through with the art for me. I enjoyed this first issue. It's got me coming back for more, and yeah, I thought it was a fun read.
Nice. Yeah, I skipped this for some reason. I don't know why. I skipped Star Wars High Republic too for some reason. Anyway,
that was okay.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah. Number 2 for me this week, Hellions.
It's my number 2.
Nice. Zeb Wells,
Well,
Steven Segovia.
You can check right out then. I think we've covered your whole list.
Yeah, all right. It continues to be smart and funny and creepy and cool. It's leaning hard into the overall.
Love Arcade.
Dude, Arcade is sinister and funny
but it's such a clever twist that they do with this character here. So in this issue, he has Mr. Sinister captured, and the entire time he's giving Mr. Sinister the speech, and every time he does something, he says, "I'm doing this. Confirm." And there's somebody in the background that goes, "Confirmed." And so Arcade's thing is that he messes with reality. So of course,
mastermind.
You would think that somebody who does that would have problems believing that he is in a real reality.
Well, he's holding Mastermind sort of not hostage, but he's kidnapped Mastermind's daughter or sister or some shit. And he's like, I'm going to murder your sister if you don't do what I want. But he's worried that Mastermind is going to use his powers on Arcade to get out of this predicament. So Arcade has a third party monitoring the situation from a secure location. So Arcade is checking with him every once in a while to make sure that that's actually what's going on. And it's great because Sinister is bouncing off that, like, what the hell is going on? Why do you keep saying confirmed? And it's just hilarious, dude. It is. But then it transfers over to where the entire team of Hellions are going through like literal hell.
Well, it's one of those stories where they show you the character's innermost desires.
Yeah.
And then those innermost desires turn dark, and they come and they attack the main characters or something like that. So it's something that I've seen a thousand times, but it was well done here. Man,
it really worked.
I also really just loved Sinister's commentary, like when Havoc was making out with his I don't know enough about Havoc. Madeline. He was making out with Madeline. And while he was making out with Madeline in his dream, in reality, he was making out with a mannequin.
Yeah.
And Mr. Sinister's like, do we really have to sit here and watch this poor bastard snog this mannequin right now?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's weird because, man, I don't know, dude. The whole theme of this book is these mutants, their powers make them mentally unstable in one way or another, right? And like all of their murder world or whatever you want to call it, things that Arcade was putting them through, fit perfectly into their own personal problem, you know? And that's the overall theme of all of this. And then we have someone like Arcade who is just reveling in his own madness. But these the Hellions are trying to overcome, you know, their instabilities. And dude, I think I could go a full hour on this book if we went page by page with the history of the characters and why they're seeing what they're seeing. For instance, Wild Child sees Wolverine and Sabretooth going at it, right? And then all of a sudden Logan's like, oh shit, here comes Wild Child, the leader of the pack.
We better get out of here.
He wants to, we better get out of here because that's where he wants to be, you know? He envies them and looks up to them, and it's just really deep into their characters, almost like I don't know, man, an intimate character examination of all of them. Even fucking Havoc banging that mannequin, you know, it was whack, but it was so weird, dude, and I loved it. It was so good. I almost made this number 1, dude. There was only one other book that I liked a little bit more because it was a debut, I think. But yeah, great book. That was my number 2, and Adam's number 2. So that moves into, man, the X books just continue to please.
Oh, yeah, there's not a bad X book.
It's amazing to me. David, number 2.
My love for you is like a bazooka.
Oh, man. Go ahead. Berserker.
Man.
Keanu Reeves, Matt Kent.
Just crazy book. With the main character being Keanu Reeves. Apparently he's immortal, invincible, and pretty much is going after all the people that the army is targeting for whatever reason. Coup, assassination. Just he drives into a freaking plane. This book was just like, you know, from the word go, it was just nothing, non-stop action until we get to the end.
Yeah,
and then the
but
doctor.
that's the whole thing throughout the book. It's him and his doctor during a therapy section or
Yeah.
session. While all this murder, like he's punching through people, he's getting burned up. All his skin's being burned off, but he
He
still
has
fighting.
nubs and he's still fighting.
Yeah.
His nose has been shot off and he's still fighting. And then when he's in the medical bay getting recovery and all that, he's like, well, I had a memory of my father today. And all, the doctor was like, you had some spike in some level of serotonin or something. And why did that happen? But basically, it's this immortal guy that the army has, and they use him to kill people.
Yeah.
And he's apparently very born in the Stone Age. I don't know.
Like 8,000 years ago.
Yeah, very long time ago.
8,000 years old. And it's weird, dude. I mean, on the surface, yes, this is just one of those regular old immortal stories. We've seen them 1,000 times. Wolverine has had these arcs over and over again. Alan Moore had characters like this. Everybody's had characters that can't die and want to have been alive too long. Anyway, there's more to this, man. It's got this weird attention to detail where they're talking about cloning him and he's okay with it. He's just so jaded and disenchanted with life and he wants to die. And it's not really that he wants to die. He just doesn't really want to be immortal anymore. He just wants to finish living. And it's got this depth to it that it's barely scratching the surface and there's a lot of potential. I'm just not sure it's going to be able to reach that, man. It was good, though.
It
Brutal
was a good
as
book.
Fuck, man. Oh, my gosh. It's so violent. But not much else to it early on.
No. This is the excellent action-packed debut is what it was.
Good choice, though.
Yeah.
Taylor what, are we up to number 2 with Taylor?
I think we're up to number 1 with Taylor.
Number 1 with Taylor.
Oh, man. We're just moving right along here.
All
Number
right.
1.
My number 1 is Power Pack, number 4.
Nice.
A lot of my reviews are probably going to sound pretty samey, as I could move from one to the next, but I consistently enjoy how good that Ryan North is at getting a voice for each of the different members of the Power Pack. This time we're around to Mattermaster, aka Jack Powers' turn, and he basically speaks in internet memes. He's narrating this like he is doing a YouTube show, and I love that. They even break down a montage as though it was a bunch of videos that he would be posting. Yeah. And he's done a great job getting Katie Power being a little kid. He's done a good job getting Julie being a neurotic college student. He's done a good job getting Alex being a kind of quasi-adult who is technically not quite an adult yet, but who in through relativistic shenanigans actually is old enough to be in his own mind. So
that's my favorite character point on here, because it shows that the writer doesn't only understand Gen Z and the young generation, but understands the inherent duality of that character enough to be able to write more than that. Because he also gets the adults in here, especially within the context of Cradle and all that other stuff going on with Kamala's Law and that whole side story. Because if you remember, this is still a tie-in to that overall event that ended up not really being an event that Marvel was pushing. But yeah, dude, this has been a surprise series for me. It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's got good action scenes, and it's heartfelt at times too. When Jack was trying to comfort Katie after, apparently she's been poisoned with the wizard's anger or something. And incidentally, the wizard really is a dick. But
yeah, the wizard is a terrible villain in this, in the best way, though.
Yeah, but it's fun. I mean, that's all I really have to say about it. It's well written, fun, lighthearted stuff. Anyway, so that's my number 1.
You were away when we mentioned it. You didn't read the Swamp Thing this week from Ram V?
I didn't read the Swamp Thing this week, no.
I really think you'll like it.
I think it was out when I got to the store, but
yeah,
it's
probably
pretty good.
Early on, it's got some Immortal Hulk feels, man. It goes back to those horror roots. It's got a really cool villain. I think you dig it, man. I think you dig
I'll have to double check for that.
It was actually really good.
Yeah. My number 1 is I'm gonna guess it's David's number 1 as well. Noctera, number 1.
Yes, sir.
Scott Snyder, Tony S. Daniel, pretty solid debut. All right, there's a worldwide catastrophe that plunges the planet into darkness. Okay,
King and Black.
PM. The big PM is what they call it.
They call it the PM. obviously, because the sun goes down. So then all the living things start becoming monsters who hate the light. All right. Our main character is a ferryman, somebody who just drives trucks, delivers shit from these protected areas to these other protected areas, outposts they call them, where humanity is still living.
Where they have the ability to generate light.
Yeah, where they can generate light to keep the monsters at bay. Stay lit, stay alive. That's what they say. So our lead character's sibling shows early signs of catching this disease. So you still have some time, but they've got to get her somewhere where there's light that can do away with this sickness that she got. So
they kind of liken it to dialysis.
Yeah, they say dialysis if you can clean your blood, but light will also, clean out the blood. So also there's an old man and the old man's daughter, and the old man sort of like granddaughter, and the old man's sort of like, it's got this water world feel to it, where he's like, I know a place where there's sunlight breaking through. He like shows her his skin. He's like, look, I got sunburn. She's like, oh, bullshit. But now that her sister's sick, she's like, okay, well, I don't really have a choice. I got to try to save my sister. Really good. So she's going to take her on this mission. Really good world building. Snyder does a great job of telling a whole lot about a place in an entertaining and compelling way without taking up a lot of space.
He did that in his Batman run very well.
There's only one thing I can kind of compare this to. It's an anime called Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress.
Nah, come on, man. Shit.
But there's elements in there.
I think you're making that up.
No, I'm not making that up.
I'm kidding. So this old man recruits the ferryman, this girl, to send him, on his way. But great art, cool premise, good pacing, good world building. We also introduced
this guy, Blacktop Bill.
So he has these freaking like nanotubes inserted in his skin that it makes him some sort of post-apocalyptic monster. And you look, these guys behind him, these characters, crazy dressed characters, are your post-apocalyptic ferrymen. Reminiscent to Mad Max, that sort of shit. Yeah. So there's a little bit
that element of Mad Max.
Yeah. So it's got your typical post-apocalyptic sort of thing going on, but man, Snyder just has a way of sucking you into a story where he tells you everything you need to know to just be totally engulfed in the freaking world that he's created. And he did it in this. I don't know what happened with Undiscovered Country. I really don't. That was him, right? It was him and what's his name?
Him and Charles Soule.
I don't know what. Maybe too many cooks in the kitchen sort of thing. But this, when I got done reading this, is like, man, this is what I wanted from Undiscovered Country. This same sort of tone, this same sort of feel, and yeah, I'm in, man. This Image Comics, great debut, and I'm excited to see what happens next. Yes, and great art. I mean, holy shit.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Tony S. Daniel. I mean, everything just looks great, man. So yeah, that was my number one.
That's my number one.
Adam's number one, I think, was Demon Days.
Yeah, mine was Demon Days. It was the most special thing that I saw this week. The most different thing. When you read a lot of superhero comics, there's a lot of sameness over time.
Sure.
And this was the thing that jumped out at me the most.
I love
it was a lot of fun. I wish the story was a little bit better, but the art is just so beautiful.
I love the different takes on the characters. I love this Eastern traditional cultural sort of art being applied to it. There's room in comics for everything, and this is unique and special, and this should definitely be part of the industry. I liken this to Jeffrey Vareggi doing his Native American style art and in that sort of thing. So Peach Momoko, just not for covers anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm definitely down for the next issue of this when it comes out.
And they are doing other issues. They're going to do a Nightcrawler one. They're going to do other. Yeah. So man, yeah. Peach
What's the next one going to be? I can't remember, but yeah, they
advertised. It's that girl at the end of it. It's Mariko, Demon Days Mariko.
Yeah. Oh, what is that Logan's old lady?
Yeah, Logan.
Yeah. Logan. That'll be fun. That'll be interesting. So yeah, man, comics can do everything. You know what I mean? Let's get more inclusiveness, more modern day takes on traditional cultural art and storytelling. And I think that's what this was.
It was. It definitely was.
Yeah. They should do more of that. And it does. It brings in like the Oni. It brings in Logan being a dog. That's a thing,
And I like that it is just basically a one shot. I mean, you could just pick this up and read it on its own, but it still kind of connects to something, and it doesn't have to be picked up once every month.
Yeah,
You know, it could be
is,
something I can dip into every once in a while, and it's something different and unique.
It's an award-worthy work. It really is, because of that unique nature there. So, awesome, man! Great episode. Lots of just killer books this week, man. I couldn't get over how many great books there were this week, even over at DC. Even though I'm probably not going to pick up issue 2 of most of the debuts that I read at DC, they were still good. You know, I'm just enjoying my stuff over at Marvel and other places better. But yeah, good times. Thanks everybody for hanging out. If you're on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, go over to those other 2 platforms. Search out Outright Geekery. Give us a like and a follow over there. Share the show out. Tell your pals. Tell your mom. Tell your pal. Patreon.com/Outright Geekery. If you wanted to tip us, that'd be dope. Just $1. You know, just a tip.
Eventually, we'll get to be able to shout out your names during the episode.
Well, if somebody would pay us, I'd call out their name. Hey, thanks, Patreon users. We got a lot of shit going on all the time. Preview show tomorrow. Big Willie's always doing streams and stuff. He had a whole Comic-Con over here the other night.
He did. I saw that.
He's always working, always staying busy. So stay tuned to the channels. We're going to have top 5 TV shows coming up soon in March, as well as a new installment of the Geek Tyrion collection, the best of the best in geek cinema. As soon as Jules comes up with one, we're going to rag him tomorrow until he gives us, the answer. But what else we got? That's it.
Speaking of Jules, we have Smarket Rate. I guess is the name of the show. Smarket, yeah, whatever. It's the first Tuesday of every month. We'll talk shit about wrestling.
I need to put that on my calendar so I don't forget about it.
Yeah.
Just gonna talk wrestling for the month. That's fun. That's interesting. I had a good time.
Enjoyed listening. Yeah.
Stay tuned. Keep coming back. Thanks for listening, but most of all, thanks to these 3 jokers for hanging out with this show.
Anytime, man.
We're gonna do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek chat.
Oh, I cut you off a little early. My bad. Got an itchy mouse finger.
It's because you took 5 hours to say your